So, Michael, thank you so much for being on this call today. I'm really excited to hear about your story with how you have really made an amazing digital marketing system and strategy for yourself that's been generating so many new clients. I remember I think you said you got 9 new clients in one 30-day period. Is that right?
Yeah, back in July, July kind of going into August.
Yeah, what an amazing result. So tell us just kind of an overview, broad strokes. How did you do it? How did you create a digital marketing presence that was able to generate that volume of new clients?
I've got a multi-prong approach to digital marketing. So I've got my website and I pay a professional so that it's a good looking website. I write and I post that to my blog. I use the videos from FA Client Machine and I put those on my blog. I share all of those out through my social media channels, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through Twitter. And then I combine that with SEO, which, all of those things I just mentioned helps with SEO, but then presence from online profiles that I have up, and also media mentions through the Financial Planning Association when you work with different writers who are coming up with stories for a lot of the larger mainstream media companies. Kind of putting all that together. I think has helped create something that clients can find me, and even if they don't find me through those channels, they can look at those and really be impressed by what's going on.
Great. And so how did a lot of people try this digital marketing thing and they're like, well, I'm putting stuff on social media and I'm blogging or I'm using video or whatever, but it's not working. What do you think was the difference that made it work for you?
I think it's really all about being authentic and providing something that the potential prospect or whoever searching online actually wants to read. When I write or the videos that I post, they're very much geared towards just teaching somebody something in a short period of time. There's not really anything on the sales side. There's not anything on the promotional side. I think other than maybe a call to action, maybe midway through or at the end. And I think that helps a lot because I think people are able to see through those methods where, maybe you're doing it and it's too heavy-handed on the sales side or on the promotion side. It's really all about just kind of goodwill, teaching them something. And if they're interested and they want to learn more, then they can do that by engaging with you. And if not, then they still were able to take something away with it and feel good about that.
Great. And so I know that you're focusing on a niche of working with teachers. How did having a niche like that play into your digital marketing strategy?
Oh, that helped tremendously because I knew exactly who all of my content was going to be geared towards. I've talked to Michael Kitces, who's the founder of the XY Planning Network, who I'm a part of, and he's really big on an exercise that says, you need to turn your target clientele into a sample person or sample people. And as you are writing, you need to say, okay, what would this sample client, if I was in the sample client's shoes, what do I want to see? What questions do I have? What answers am I looking for? And by doing that and having that niche, I'm able to do that. I've actually got a couple sample clients that's exactly what I do when I put things together, whether it's, scripts for the videos or blog posts or just post on social media.
Great. And as far as getting search engine results from all this, how did having that niche play into how you tagged your video content and your blogs and other content you were generating?
Well, I'm no SEO expert, but I think it's worked really well. You'd have to talk to the guys at Google about how exactly it happened. But I think having that niche or niche allows Google and the other search engines to consistently see, in my case, hey, this is a fiduciary financial planner who works with teachers. And in just about everything that it's able to crawl out and go see, it's able to say, oh, okay, well, these things add up. There's relevancy here. And that has helped with SEO. And, I think it was maybe a month or so ago, I check myself and my firm and a couple of the search terms on Google. And I was really happy in that my search terms that I think of prospective clients searching to try and find somebody like me, I was showing up first page on Google, which was
Awesome.
really nice, really nice.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's one of the most powerful things right now, I think, to know is just the importance of using YouTube videos to rank on Google page one. Because since Google owns YouTube, if you use YouTube embed codes, a lot of SEO experts say that is the #1 way to get your website found on Google. Because Google wants to reward people for using YouTube. And when they see those YouTube embed codes consistently on your website, they're going to reward you for that and move you up higher and higher in search engines. We've ranked multiple websites on Google page one using that strategy of YouTube embed codes on your blog on a regular basis. And you're another one of our success stories.
Yeah, and I did notice a bump. You don't get to page one overnight, but if you consistently track, I noticed different things coming from page 3 to page 2 to finally onto page 1, especially after I implemented my videos as part of our digital marketing strategy.
Fantastic. I love hearing that. And so then as far as the technical aspects of how you push your content out, when you're posting on social media, do you tend to use a link to a blog post and send traffic back to your website that way?
Yeah, that's what I generally will do. Sometimes I'll link it up just to the YouTube video if I'm in a hurry. But what I really like to do is take the videos, embed them on the blog page, then take the script that's down below. I know there's a better term for that, but I will at least put that in the blog, and then what I'll do is I'll try and cross-link it to other original pieces that are a little bit deeper in detail that I've written. So if it's, there's one video about 403Bs, and it's a really big issue for teachers, bad 403Bs out there. Jill, you guys created the video, and it's a 1-minute video. It's an attention getter. It gives them something that they can take away from it in that 1 minute. But then down below in that text, I link up a couple of the phrases that are in the video to blog posts that I've written about 403Bs. And that's something that I've heard is that, you can really help drive your results by, proving that what you're linking to is relevant.
Right. Yeah. And so those are basically internal links, right, to other pages on your own website.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, having those links that keep showing the relevancy and driving traffic around your website, that's very powerful.
Yeah, and on Google Analytics, it'll actually show you, a lot of the times if you have people going to your website, I think maybe you talked to me about this, Jill, if they get there and they're on, homepage and then about us and they drop off, that's not good. But what you want to see is, if they come in from a video page, if you can then see the progression of, oh, they liked something and they went deeper. Oh, and then they found a cross link and they liked something. If they can be on the site longer and hit multiple pages, there's a really good chance of them becoming an engaged return visitor or being the ones who reach out to schedule an appointment or just ask questions, which could lead to scheduling an appointment.
Right. Great. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, is keeping people engaged on your website. So when you're sending them to different pages on your website, Google can see that you've gotten multiple page visits, and that's going to help your search engine results. Also, when you're driving them to video content, they're going to watch the video content because everybody wants to watch video content. People don't want to read as much anymore. And so, for instance, with our videos, we've got 1-minute videos. You're going to keep them engaged for at least a minute through that video. Mm-hmm. So they're not just going to visit your website and just pop right off it, which is going to kind of that's going to hurt your search engine results. They're going to get engaged, stay longer, and that time on site is very critical for your search engine results as well. And that's something that video helps with as well. So that's really so smart though, that you're driving people using the link to your blog post where the video is embedded, because then you're getting that traffic to your website. Once they get there, they're engaging with the video content, which keeps them there longer. And then you start to drive them around your website by leading them through different links.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you're using the blog posts on your social media. So when you post to Facebook and to LinkedIn and Twitter, you're driving them back to your website. You know, another really powerful strategy is to actually upload the video files to Facebook or LinkedIn, because when people see a video, when they're scrolling through, they're more likely to click on that and want to watch it than to go off of Facebook and watch text, read a text article or something like that. What have you found? I know you've done some boosts on Facebook with your videos. What's been your experience with that?
Yeah, so uploading them directly to social media is something that I'm going to look to do in the future. I think that does really help. Boosting posts has helped. I've actually there's a couple clients who I wouldn't have if I would not have boosted a post, because boosting kind of pushes out beyond that organic audience, and it's really an inexpensive way to push your content out. You can do it just with a simple boost, and Facebook will just do its thing, or you can go even deeper and target different segments through the Facebook ads. So I've done both of those and found both to be worthwhile, even if you don't have a huge marketing budget.
That's so cool. So tell us the story of how that happened. How did those boosts of boosting your video lead to a new client?
Yeah, so in both cases, boosted the post out. They came onto the website. I wish Google Analytics could show you every single person, or maybe I don't, but they got to the website. They got engaged with the content, and then they were able to, on my website, the blog is the Knowledge Center. So on there's different, videos, articles, media mentions, of all sorts of different topics. And by trying to cross-link those, or even just a little encouragement to check out additional articles, they were able to find something that resonated with them. And, really, when they called me, they said, hey, I'm reaching out because I was able to, get on your website and I read this, and, I really I really liked it. And so I'd like to, at least schedule an introductory meeting and think about working with you. And in both cases, they were, qualified prospects that have turned into great clients.
Nice. Great. Okay. So what would you say, like if an advisor came to you and said, well, say they've heard everything we've talked about so far, but then they said, well, what's the one secret? What's the biggest thing that you did that made your digital marketing work?
The one secret, gosh, I don't know if there's one secret.
Yeah.
I think it's really coming up with a strategy that has many different pieces to it. It's kind of like with being a financial planner, you always talk about diversification. You don't want your clients to have all their eggs in one basket. I think it's probably the same thing with your digital marketing. If you're just doing one thing, you could do that thing really well, but if it's not the thing that people are looking for, or it's not the thing that Google is looking for in their algorithm, it's not going to work. So I would say you've got to have different pieces. You've got to be consistent with it, and you've got to be ready to try things and say, okay, well, maybe I'll switch that up and just kind of experiment until hopefully the results start coming for you.
Mm-hmm. And so when you say consistent, what does that look like for you?
So I have a new client video that comes in every month that I immediately upload to the blog and I push out through social media. It's been a little bit more difficult since I've been getting busier and busier, but I like to be able to put something up on the blog that I can then push out on social media at least once a week, if not a couple times a week.
Yeah. So the thing I love about your plan is that it actually is very simple. It's to really optimize your website with great content that's very engaging and targeted toward your niche, and then using social media and I'm assuming also email marketing, right?
Yeah, email marketing, something that's still coming along, but it's another piece that I'm slowly building out to reach prospects. That's one of my goals in the upcoming years, to really start to capitalize on my email marketing a bit more, and actually tying what I call my on the ground marketing in with my digital marketing. Using the video the video system that we have.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Yeah. And that is so important to marry your offline strategies and your online strategies so they help each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for instance, if you're doing an event, then you can follow up with them with a series of videos that are about the topics that you covered in that event to continue the relationship and nurture it online and give them really valuable content in a format that they enjoy consuming.
Exactly. And that's something that, one of the reasons why I wanted to push was, I've got this system, I should be using it, but also, if you have an event and there's 60 people there, you have all the intention to be able to follow up with everyone. But it's really difficult to do that just yourself in the traditional means. So if you can use that system to go ahead and make your life a little bit easier and automatically touch those people, and then the ones that are more interested kind of float to the top by themselves, it saves a lot of time and drives results. And so that's it's definitely on the top of my to-do list to get that going.
Yeah, great. Yeah. And, actually that's really inspiring that the three big things that most people look at when they think about digital marketing are your website, social media, and email marketing. And so it's really actually very inspiring to see that even with only two of those legs in place, your website and your social media, you're getting such great results. And as you add the email, it's only going to accelerate that for you.
Yeah, and I that is something kind of secondary on that list of combining the on the ground and the online marketing. Is what I do want to do is be able to also utilize email marketing a little bit better in coordination with my videos, to be able to drive people there and then drive them to more videos through the email marketing, or some advisors, I've got a couple. The term is freemium or giveaway. Basically somebody's interested in it, they give you your email address, and then you've got them on your mailing list. Well, if you can capitalize on something they get from your website that they're engaged in, and then bring that around with the videos, I think that's going to make a big difference as well.
Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's kind of the overview of the strategy, is that everything drives back to your website from social media and from email marketing and from your live events.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course there's the outreach too, to your live events using the email marketing. Mm-hmm. But you're really using your website as a hub where you're driving all your traffic to your website and then engaging them there with this engaging video content and written content that shows your expertise for your niche.
Yeah, that is, if I had to say one thing, one secret, I guess, going back to that, is you have to have a solid website, because if you can use these methods to drive people to your website, but if it's not a website that's user friendly, that looks good, that is optimized for that, then it's not going to produce results. So a lot of people say, well, a website's expensive, I don't want to pay for it. But I would say that every penny that I've spent on the website, which surprisingly hasn't been as much as people think, has been worthwhile, because that's where it's all going to land. That's where the conversions are going to happen.
Right, right. And I know a lot of financial advisors feel frustrated because they're like, well, I have a website that looks great, but it doesn't do anything for me. But the way I actually heard someone talk about this recently, and they had an interesting metaphor for that. They said one hand washes the other. When Google sees that you're sending traffic to your website through your email marketing, you're sending it back to your website through your social media, sending it back to your website, they see that traffic pouring into your website, they're going to be, oh, well, that's a valuable website. Now we're going to start to rank it higher. So it all is kind of a virtuous cycle where you put a little bit of work into it to drive that traffic and make sure there's something good when they get there. And then Google will reward you for that. And then I think one of the big keys is to have that they call it a lead magnet, what you're talking about as far as having a freemium or something there that you'll give them for free that's of value if they give you their contact information. Because if they just visit and leave, then it's all for nothing. So you really have to capture that contact information. And then if they're not ready for a phone call right away, follow up with a nurture sequence, which is where you're, giving them the video content and the written content that could engage them further as you're building that relationship online.
Yeah, nurture sequence, that's a really nice way to put it. I've always heard it as drip marketing, but nurture sequence sounds a lot better.
Doesn't it? Yeah. So I remember last time we talked about what had happened with your month in July, where you got these 9 clients in 1 month. I remember you saying, yeah, it's really nice when you've done all the work in the past and then you just watch it roll in.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that comes back to filling up that funnel, there's no magic to it. There is work that goes in and consistency, but you do end up when you put in the work, if you do it right, can end up having that happen. And you're doing your normal thing, and emails start coming in, and the phone starts ringing, and it's people who want to talk to you, and that's a good feeling, especially when a lot of my marketing, I do a lot of marketing on the ground as well, and that can be hard work. And so to not have to go out and do that, and just to have it come in and say, hey, I found you on the web, that's really nice.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to add?
I think we've covered a lot of it. It takes work. You've got to try and keep trying and be consistent. There's lots of tools out there. I'll say that, the different approaches, including video marketing, have definitely helped. And, I think that if you're not doing multiple things, and especially if you don't have video, there's going to be some people who are just going to pass you by, even if you've got the best written blog posts. If they're looking for a 1-minute video, they're never going to read your 2,000 word blog post, at least until after you've caught their attention with their video.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us. And I think it's going to be really instructive and inspiring for other advisors. So thank you for your time, Michael.
Oh, hey, no problem. No problem.